Why do musicians love lead sheets? I'm going to tell you about that in a second, but just like imagine that you're sitting at your instrument, you're playing song after song, you're never having to turn a page, you might even play some improv for 5 minutes, and you are reading. All you are reading is one piece of paper like this with a single line and maybe a couple of chords. And you could spin that out for 5 minutes, 10 minutes even. But you are playing this full, like rich two-handed arrangement with an introduction, a melody, and that everyone loves, and an improv section, and you are inventing it all in the moment. So that is what it means to play from a lead sheet. So is this magical? Yes, it is totally magical. Is it something only very gifted or talented musicians can do? No. You can learn how to do it. It's a formula. It's a simple, creative formula that you can learn, and you can use it over and over. And each time that you use that formula, the music is different. It's new, it's fresh, even if you start from the same piece of paper every single time. So this is the art of playing from a lead sheet, and anyone has the technical ability to do it as soon as you have basic ability on your instrument. But you do need to know the formula, you need to know the process for applying it, and you need to have the practice of going through it over and over and over and letting go of perfection and developing musical fluency. And that is why I created Lead Sheet Bootcamp, where you get the basic training in how to read a lead sheet, and then 2 additional days of action sessions where we actually sit down and do it over and over and over again using my blueprint for improv. So here is how Lead Sheet Bootcamp works. On day 1 of Lead Sheet Bootcamp, you learn the rules of the game, basic training, rules of the game, because it really is a musical game. And once you learn the simple rules, you can play that game over and over and over. It's just like if you learn the rules of soccer or chess, you can play that game over and over. In fact, learning the rules is the simple part. It's putting them into play that is fun, and it's fun literally for a lifetime. And every time that you play it, it's always different. You're always expanding your abilities and skills. But once you learn the basic rules of the game, you can play. And the more you play, the more you learn. And that's what it's like when you know how to play from a lead sheet. That is why the very first thing we do in Lead Sheet Bootcamp is a 60 to 90 minute basic training. And in fact, a recorded version of the basic training video is already in the classroom. So as soon as you sign up, you can actually take it right away and you can review it as much as you want. But here is why it's called a boot camp. And no, you don't have to wear boots. You can wear high heels, or you can come barefoot, or you can wear fuzzy slippers. It doesn't matter. But here's why. Because knowing how is just the beginning. It's great to know how, but it's a little like knowing how to lose weight or knowing how technically to ride a bicycle. Knowing how doesn't really make the difference. Actually doing it is what is key. And it is hard to do that alone. It's just much more fun and much more successful when you do it in a supportive environment with other people, when you have a coach you can ask questions of, when you are literally playing along with someone who actually knows what they're doing, instead of sitting there trying to figure it out, struggling with it, trying to do it right, trying to avoid making a mistake. And this is where Zoom is amazing, because Lead Sheet Bootcamp is done in a group environment where we are all playing together. You can hear me and you are playing along with me, but nobody else in the class can hear or see anybody else. So you have this amazing freedom. You are all doing it. You are all playing the game. Everyone is playing at their own level, and you don't have to worry about how you sound to others. That alone is just a huge feeling of freedom. This is not about perfection. It's about connection. It's about fluency. It's about building repertoire for fun. And it's not about having to get every single note right or prove yourself to somebody else that you're good enough, or to yourself. That's just not what this is about. It is about the joy of being able to just sit down and play for yourself, for others, with others. I discovered the secret of teaching this way with my Harp Academy during a holiday season. I just gave all my students a collection of holiday lead sheets, and we just all sat down and we played virtually over and over and over again. And the students said they loved this way of learning because they could actually experience how the improvisation blueprint plays out just by doing it. And they didn't have to be alone. We did it together over and over again with the tunes that I gave them. And at the end, they just had these tunes that they could sit down and play. And because we did it over and over again, each time adding new complexities, the less advanced students got to keep doing the simpler version over and over again. So they got better and better at that part. And while the more advanced students got to embellish each time until everyone finds their own sweet spot. And the sweet spot is when you are actually doing what you have the ability to do right now as you are, while you're also developing the ability to expand that into new skills, but you're doing it. You're not like waiting until you're ready. You're doing it now. And instead of just sitting there struggling to get something that you can't do. So it's when we click in with what we can do, that is called flow or fluency. And then once you click in, it just expands. And that's what we're going to do in Lead Sheet Bootcamp. So exactly what do you get in Lead Sheet Bootcamp? So in addition to 1, learning how to use the blueprint for improv, 2, getting dozens of lead sheets, including classical, Celtic, holiday, folk, Latin, even jazz, and many sessions of playing together. You will also get tips like how to use cookie cutter chords, how to avoid lever changes, how to reduce the notes you're playing when you hit a complex part of the music, how to expand the harmony in simple and beautiful ways, how to create beautiful intros, how to improvise on the melody, how to improvise on the chords, how to create a vamp. Yes, you will even learn what a vamp is. And you learn what you can cut out and make a piece sound even better than with the stuff in there. You will learn how to, you'll learn left-hand patterns that let you make it into a waltz or into a tango. You will learn how to take each piece and turn it into a meditative piece for therapeutic playing. You will learn how to play it with others. You will learn how to sing and accompany yourself or somebody else, just because these are all different ways of using a lead sheet. You will also walk away from the retreat with a repertoire of at least 5 new songs that you can literally just sit down and play. For your friends, for yourself, for your family, or you can use them professionally. But the big power that you will have is knowing how to use the blueprint that I give you, the improvisation blueprint, because that is going to help you. That is going to make you able to create infinite spontaneous repertoire. And what that means is that you can just sit down and play without having to learn to read every single note. And the most important thing about Lead Sheet Bootcamp is that you will go through the process over and over again with different songs live in the retreat, and then you will have the access to the replay. So you can do it over and over again. So it's kind of like having a harp circle or a band to play with or a friend to play with, so that you can just keep going instead of stopping and trying to fix things. You keep going so that becomes second nature. And because that is what is going to liberate you from the notes on the page and empower you to truly just sit down and play. I am Deborah Henson-Conant, also known as Deborah, also known as DHC, and I hope that you will join me for Lead Sheet Bootcamp. And remember, music is all about connection, not perfection. And I will model that imperfection for you every step of the way.